Good evening, friends. இன்னைக்கு MBBS Abroad பத்தி பார்க்க போறோம். And I got a very special person with me. இவர் வந்து Mr. Sashidharan, and he is the director of IMTP. IMTP நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியாம இருந்திருக்கலாம். It is among the top 11 consultants in India, registered with USIS, United States Information Service. அண்ட் அது மாத்திரம் இல்லை, சிங்கப்பூர் எஜுகேஷனோட மினிஸ்ட்ரியோட அவங்களுக்கு டைப் இருக்குது. அண்ட் யூகேவோடையும் அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஃபார் எஜுகேஷன் தே ஹாவ் டைப். நோ அவர் வந்து இன்னைக்கு ஐ எம் கோயிங் டு ஆஸ்க் ஹிம் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் ஆன் MBBS அப்ராட். ஸோ குட் ஈவினிங் மிஸ்டர் Sashidharan.
Yeah, good evening.
And can you tell me now, there are only 90,000 seats available in India. That is what I saw in Times of India today. And 22 lakh people, that is more than the population of Paris, are writing the NEET exam every year. So with 90,000 seats. And there are many students who, because of this, want to go abroad and do their MBBS. What is the procedure for going abroad and doing MBBS?
One of the procedures is that you have to pass the NEET exam for you to look at coming back to India and taking up the next exam. So from now onwards, there's a common exam known as NEXT, where students will sit along with the Indian students and take up a final exam in India and do a 1 year of house urgency in India. The students who go outside India need to do compulsorily a 1 year house urgency in that country which they study, wherever it is outside India. Some countries have that provision, some countries don't have that provision. And I will explain it as we go by.
Okay. So how do you choose a country? If I'm a parent and I want to send my child abroad, so how do I choose a country where my child can go and study?
Ideally speaking, the choice is made based on your marks, based on your financial ability to pay for a program, right? So the Western countries like UK and Australia and others are more expensive and need very good marks. Now take, for example, Australia or UK. Your requirement is you need more than 90% marks in your 12th. Okay, you need to write the IMAT exams or the UK CAT exams and have a good score to qualify into entering into these programs, and it will cost you about 2.5 to 3 crore rupees.
Okay. And
so that is
okay,
an option. Yeah.
Now, in case my budget is less, I want to send my child within 50 lakh budget, total expense, because I cannot afford to go for a very high education. What are the choices you would recommend?
See, medicine can be done from as low as probably 25 lakh rupees. You can start off. Again, fee structures, which can, in some cases, the fee structures are as low as 3.25 lakh rupees per year into 6 years, right?
So
plus
total,
living expenses.
Total would be 3.25 into 6 would be 19.5 lakhs. Plus living.
Yeah, it will be around 21.5 lakh rupees approximately is the lowest with a reasonably good option, which can be done in probably countries like Russia. It can be done in Uzbekistan, etc. Now, which are the countries which offer programs? The most important part is that, yes, there is universities in Russia. From this rate to something like about 70 lakh rupees for the 6-year program. Okay, like Moscow Medical University, etc. Having said that, some of the Russian universities in the top order requires good marks also, 80% plus. But if you are saying that somebody has got financial issues, they want their children to do medicine, then we can look at countries where the entry requirements in the state medical universities are cheaper, entry requirements are lesser, and they can go and study in these countries, which will be for a duration of 6 years, inclusive of your house surgency.
Can you suggest
Okay.
some countries?
Like I said, you can have Russia, you can have Georgia, you can have Moldova, which is actually 7 years, but you can have Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is a classic example where you have a particular university in Uzbekistan which is tied up with the Apollo group of hospitals
India,
under
Apollo,
Apollo
Apollo
skills.
India.
Apollo India.
Oh,
They have a separate division called Apollo Skill Development Group, under which you have a particular university in Uzbekistan called Zarmat Medical University, wherein the course fee is somewhere around 3,40,000 rupees per year, approximately. You have an Indian hostel because Apollo themselves run the hostel. So Indian cooks. You have the only country in the world where you have classes separately for Indian students taught by Apollo hospital doctors.
oh,
So there is a 500-bedded hospital in this particular university, which is run by the Apollo group.
oh, that's nice.
There is an option like that. Not many people know about it.
Okay,
We can look at it.
okay. And any other
Definitely.
options? Yeah, I
Sorry,
find
other
these.
options, you have Georgia, plenty of options in Georgia. Anything between 24 lakh rupees to 40 lakh rupees, there are courses, universities.
Okay.
இந்த மாதிரி universities அங்க போய் பண்ணலாம்
இப்போ
அந்த
Georgia,
பட்ஜெட்டுக்கு.
Georgia, it's somewhere near Russia, right? East European
Georgia is,
country.
yeah, it's near Russia. You have Armenia, which is there, which
What
is
is so,
across
what is
Georgia.
so special about Georgia? Any?
One, Georgia is not part of the Russian Union, so you have a lot of students studying in Georgia, number one. You have good medical universities also in Georgia, like all of the East European countries, because Georgia was part of Russia in the old Soviet Union. The advantages are they are trying to align their system with the Indian Medical Commission, wherein earlier you had the 6-year program without house surgency. Today you have a 6-year program with house surgency.
Okay.
It is not like Moldova where you study 6 years plus 1 year house surgency, making it a 7-year program,
And
which
more,
allows you to come back to India and take up the next exam.
okay.
Living expenses in all these countries are little lesser.
Okay. And moreover, it will be a safer country because we are seeing the Israel-Iran crisis, many doctors coming back from Iran or Ukraine. And
I mean, all these countries, so Sivakumar, it is already known. I do not know why Indian public is not able to appreciate the fact that we have a large number of students, 2,000 students who are gone in the last 1 year. But 1 year back only Israel has struck Iran. There is a problem between Israel and Iran, which
we know
all
that.
of us know.
We know that.
But parents are sending in the name that it is a cheaper destination to go. Yes, Iran is a good friend of India, but that doesn't help the matters, no? When there is a problem which we
Very
had in Ukraine earlier,
Very
now
true.
we have it in Iran.
Very true.
So we have to be very selective when we look at countries.
Okay.
Look at safer destination where there is no wars which could take place because
So-
sometimes it's unpredictable. Yes,
So
we
you
could
said
look at those options.
Uzbekistan, Georgia, they are very safe destination.
Armenia, Uzbekistan, Georgia. You can look at Moldova. There are some of the other European EU countries like Czechoslovakia, Hungary, where options are available. This will cost around 60 lakh rupees.
Can you tell me
including-
something about Moldova?
Moldova has got only one university. No, so there is one medical university. It's a huge medical university, which is it's a more than 3,000 bedded hospital. So that way, yes, there are a lot of Indian students studying in Moldova. The course fees is approximately around 32 lakh rupees in that region,
And
plus living expenses,
language is
which
English?
means that your budget is around 50 lakhs.
Oh, okay. Language will be English.
All the countries, the taught programs for Indian students will be in English language.
Okay. Now, suppose the parent is got deep pockets and they want to go to some other destination. Let's say they want to study in Europe or US. What would you suggest?
Yes, as long as the marks are there.
Okay.
If the marks are there, we can send to UK. There is options, even if you can't do directly, if they are not taken up the IMAT or UCAT exams. You can even study in Italy. Fees is very much cheaper. But doing post-graduation becomes difficult because it is taught in the local language.
Okay.
So there is an issue there. You have to get your registration done. Suppose you study in Italy, you have to get your registration in Italy. You must know the Italian language, and it should be equivalent to a English 7.5 band or
Okay.
C1
Mm-hmm.
in Italian.
Okay.
This is all not easy. It is difficult. Every parent might say it's easy, but we, after studying 15 years, 12 years to 15 years in English in India, find it difficult to score a 7.5 in IELTS, right? So that consideration has to be taken. But if you have money, if you have marks, we can definitely send them directly to the UK or Australia or New Zealand. Or we can even send without these examinations via the International Medical University in Malaysia.
Could you explain that?
We need, basically, we need about 85% of marks in 12th.
Okay.
It would cost around 2.25 crore rupees.
Okay.
They study the first 2.5 years in Malaysia, and then they go to one of the 23 partner universities of International Medical University in UK, Australia, New Zealand.
Okay.
And some of these universities are ranked in the top 100 in the world, the
Okay.
medical universities,
For
and top
example?
50. Edinburgh Medical University, you have
Okay.
Edinburgh of UK,
Okay.
you have Queen's in UK, Glasgow in UK. You have University of New South Wales in Australia.
So from International Medical University, Malaysia, you can go to these countries, study, and can you write some exam and settle there itself?
No, you are studying. It's as good as studying in that university where you're finally going, whether it's UK or Australia or New Zealand, completing there, doing a house surgency, and you are paid during a house surgency. Please remember the Western countries, there is a stipend given. You are paid approximately in Indian rupees about 2.5 lakh rupees per month.
Okay. But can I go
And
to,
house urgency is 2-year duration.
or
Please
can I
remember
go
that.
to IMU and come back to India, write the next exam and settle here?
You cannot. At this moment, it cannot be done. You cannot do a 5-year program in IMU per se, because there is no house urgency in Malaysia. And
Okay.
because there is no house urgency in Malaysia, you can't come back to India. You need to write the UK MLA exams and go to UK, or
Any
the
other
AMC exams and go to
any other
Australia.
option in Malaysia I
You
can?
have Manipal.
Okay.
Manipal is there. You have Manipal, you have Masa, you have got Segi. There are so many medical universities in Malaysia, but among all this, maybe Manipal could be a better option because they have pathway programs which will take you to or guide you through the process of doing your house surgency.
Okay. Can you explain the Manipal route?
Again, 5 years in Malaysia, the course fee would come to around 90 lakh rupees, plus living expenses. But having said that, they have a separate program where students are guided, trained for taking up the UK MLA or the AMC exams of Australia. Of course, there is an extra charge for it, which is paid when you are in the 3rd year, when you join the program, which will help you and guide you through the entire house surgency in whichever country you go, till you take the UK MLA Part 2 exams, practical examination, and get your registration in UK or in Australia. So it's a plus plus. Please remember one important thing. In all the Western countries, post-graduation is free of cost.
Hmm.
So that is very, very important. You are paid a stipend while you are doing your post-graduation also. Approximately in Indian rupees, around 3 lakh rupees. In the US also, it's the same thing. You are paid almost around, in Indian rupees, around 5 lakh rupees per month for your, while doing your post-graduation. So these are all the plus in Western countries. But please remember, marks is there. Marks is important. Going to the US can always be done through some very good universities which are there in the Caribbeans. Not that all universities have the necessary tie-ups where you can do your house surgency in the USA. So that has to be carefully analyzed, and it will cost a minimum of 1.5 to 2 crores
Okay.
if
I
you're
can
going through
see,
that.
I can see one thing, Mr. Sashi. You have a lot of information. You seem to be an encyclopedia in this topic. And would you be available if we could connect children's parents to you? I think
Definitely.
this is a very crucial period for them. So they want the right information and guidance.
Yes, we can do that. We
Okay.
can speak to parents. I mean, whichever slab they come from, whichever
Okay.
financial slab.
So based on the
And
requirement, we can connect with them. You can speak to them.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And just one last question that thought has been in my mind. Uh, you have NMC, National Medical Council.
A
So
commission.
do we send the children to colleges which are certified by National Medical Council? How is it? How do you know that this college is recognized?
No, all medical institutions which comes under the World Health Organization, WHO, okay, which comes under that is recognized for students to come up and take up the exam. Unlike the earlier period when there was no tests, you have the FMG exams, right? Without the house urgency. Today it is with house urgency. So what is it? All recognized medical institutions in any country in the world. You can study and come back to India as long as you have passed NEET. Now take for example this year, if I'm right, the pass mark is, the minimum score is 143 to 113, if I'm right.
Okay.
Right? So you need that minimum, whether you are a forward OC or you're a BCO, SC, doesn't matter. You need that scores of 113 to 143. And if you have it, no problem. If you don't have it, you can't come back to India.
Okay. Got it. Got it. And you come back to India, you have to write the next exam before you start
You have
practice.
to write the next exam.
Okay.
So you will have a thing. Now, like I said, students who are going for this dual program, in the sense you're going to IMU and going to UK, or you don't necessarily require NEET for it.
Hmm.
Okay, you can go join, complete the program. Please remember, all English speaking countries, that is the 5 English speaking countries, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and UK, their programs are accredited with the National Medical Commission,
Okay.
in the sense that a student complete now his undergraduation in that country, gets a registration in that country, can always come back and practice in India, but cannot do the post graduation in India.
Okay.
Okay. Having said that, post graduation is free of cost in the country where you're getting a registration.
Okay.
So you can always complete and then come back. So without
Then come back.
NEET, you can do it in these 5 countries,
Oh,
not in any other country.
okay. All right. So thank you very much. Got a fair idea. I hope the parents have got a fair idea. And if you have more requirement, you need more information, more support, you can kindly contact us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so
Have a
much.
great day. Thank you.